discuss navigating the home inspection. We're going to chat about this a little bit from the seller's point of view and their agent, as well as the buyer's point of view and their agent, to try to make the process a little bit easier for everybody. So let's talk about this first from the seller's point of view. So you're selling your house, or you're a real estate agent and your client is selling their house, and you've come up with a purchase and sale agreement, and you've got a buyer that's ready to buy the house. Now, this buyer has a certain amount of time that you can negotiate, but it's typically 10 business days in Rhode Island, has a certain amount of time to do their home inspection. So what you're first going to do is let your seller know what has to happen during the home inspection. Explain to them that the buyer's going to come through the house with the home inspector and the buyer's agent. Sometimes the buyer might bring a contractor or a family member as well. So there's going to be people going through their house. Understand that the home inspector is going to want to get to everything. They're going to climb up into the attic. They're going to get to the electric panel. They're going to get to the heating systems and the ACs. They're going to want to climb into the crawl space and check out all those little nooks and crannies. As the listing agent, you've got just a couple of jobs at the inspection. Your job is no longer to sell the house. The house is sold. There's a customer that's already decided to buy it, so you don't have to sit there and explain how awesome everything is to the buyer and the home inspector when they come in on inspection day. Let the seller know it's customary that they do not attend the inspection. We strongly discourage the seller from being present. If the seller can't leave the house or just really won't leave because we can't actually kick them out of the house, let them know that chiming in during the home inspection and crowding the buyers is not going to help. It's going to make them feel uncomfortable, and it's probably going to irritate the home inspector. Trust me. The last thing it could do that a lot of people don't realize is the buyer is going to talk about their house because they don't want the inspection to ruin the sale. And a lot of times they can bring stuff up that contradicts what they put in their disclosure ahead of time, which is actually a potential legal situation. And then as far as what the agent's going to do during the inspection, basically be on time, unlock the house, let the inspector and the buyers know that you're there for questions, but just chill out. Don't chime in. Don't try to rebuttal any of the defects that the inspector brings up. Don't call the homeowner. Please don't call them every 2 seconds. The inspector takes a picture and says something might be broken to the buyer. This just adds stress to the situation. You're not trying to stress everybody out. This is not the time to negotiate defects. This is not the time to say that the home inspector's an idiot and doesn't know what he's talking about. Whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. After the buyer gets their inspection report and they go over it with their side, you as the selling agent and your seller can go through the repair request if they've made a repair request. Now, this can be they might ask you to change the price because they found a bunch of stuff wrong with the house. That's a surprise. It might be they might ask you to fix a couple of things that are safety issues or might get in the way of their financing. Or they might find something that's catastrophic, worst case scenario, and they can walk away. None of this is anything to stress out about. Next, let's put the shoe on the other foot, and let's talk about the buying party. So we'll rewind all the way back to the purchase and sale agreement that got signed, and the buyer now has a certain amount of time that's been pre-negotiated to get a home inspection and react to the findings. So if you're the buyer realtor, you let them know, hey, you've got so many days to do your inspection. Again, the standard is 10 business days, but any time frame can be negotiated. I've seen them longer or shorter. And then have the real estate agent, if you're the buying agent now representing the buyer, tell your customer you can choose any licensed home inspector you want. You can tell the buyer, hey, there's a state law that covers what the minimum required standard for your home inspection must cover. There may also be other areas that you need to have inspected that are not part of the state minimum, such as septic inspections, well inspections, lead, mold, radon testing, water quality testing. These other things are not part of the minimum standard, but depending on your house, you may want to do some other inspections as well. So you're going to get, as a buyer, a report that it's going to be anywhere from, depending on how the inspector formats things, 50 to 100 pages, say. A lot of it might be pictures or whatever. Ours are usually somewhere between 60 and 75 pages, again, including the photographs. Now, tell your buyer what the inspection is for. The inspection is for you to learn about the house. So the inspector is going to teach you everything they can about the house, tell you what's broken, tell you how old this and that is, tell you how long these things last, maybe answer questions about maintenance, etc. The inspection is not designed as a negotiating tool. A lot of buyers don't get this. They think that when you come to and do the inspection, they're going to ask the seller to fix all the stuff in the report. That's just not the case. The inspection is so that the buyer knows what they're buying.